Okay, the Carolina Panthers hosted the Washington football team yesterday. The good news is they didn't turn the ball over. They put up 21 points. That should be enough, right? Nah. They lost. They're 5-6. They're out of the playoff picture. The Minnesota Vikings have the final playoff spot. The Washington football team wanted it more than the Carolina Panthers. It's just that simple. And Ron Rivera, the former Carolina Panthers head coach, now with the Washington football team, got the last laugh. I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why the Carolina Panthers lost this game. The defense didn't bother to show up. I mean, Dante Jackson got picked on in certain situations. They couldn't stop the Russian attack. They made Taylor Heineke look like Mark Rippon in his prime. I mean, that's how stupid it was. I'm just sitting there scratching my head. I'm like, you got one turnover. You sacked Taylor Heineke 3 times. And you still lost the game. Carolina Panthers has this weird thing where they play well in the first half, but second half, that's where they don't bother to show up. And it's not all season, but it's been happening most of the season. And this is the negative side of Carolina Panthers, especially in the second half. So, secondly, the penalties. I mean, they're the most penalized team in the National Football League. That's the shocker to me. 81. Sure, they had 7 penalties for, 65 or 69 yards? Yeah, 65 yards. I'm looking at box score on ESPN.com. It's crazy. It's crazy. Not to mention, it's going to be a tie between penalties and third down conversions. 2 for 9 for Carolina. At one point, they were 0-4 on third downs. It seems like, and they were 1 for 3 on fourth down conversions, while the Washington football team was 2 for 2. In the offense, I felt that they could have done better in the late fourth quarter. And this is something that needs to stop with the Carolina Panthers, putting so much emphasis in. It's Christian McCaffrey or nothing. It's all or nothing. It's that type of attitude, that type of thinking. It's hurting the Carolina Panthers. I'm not saying that, hey, they should just not give the ball to Christian McCaffrey, but at some point, this whole, hey, give him the ball every time and get out the way, like I said, it's hurting the team. You get other playmakers. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. Yes, I know he had some drops. You have some good tight ends. Got pretty good, running backs besides Christian McCaffrey. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, Cam Newton looked pretty good. He looked real good. I told y'all he has this hot and cold streak. When he's hot, he's hot. When he's cold, it's brutal. Hide your wife, kids, and your pet fish, pet cat, dogs, whatever. It is awful and brutal to watch. But yesterday's game against the Washington football team, he looked pretty good. And people out there are blaming Cam Newton for the loss. Again, I will never understand that. But, like I said, they're not going to the playoffs. They're not. Because you can't sit there and go out beat teams you have no business beating, like Arizona, despite missing pieces, missing players on offense and everything. Then turn around, lose to teams you have no business losing to, which is the Washington football team. And Carolina Panthers are 0-4 against the NFC East division. I am not joking. They lost to the Cowboys. They lost to the Eagles. They lost to the Giants. And they just lost to the damn Washington football team. That's bananas. And I had a feeling that certain teams are going to be so desperate that they're going to have to call Cam Newton and tell him, come save the day, come save their season. And it sucks. But I never thought they would be Carolina Panthers. I never thought that day would come. Given the situation that happened a year ago. Boy. I don't know what to say. I mean, they're going to South Beach to play the Miami Dolphins next week. They have a losing record. Do I expect Carolina Panthers to win that game? No, I don't. Then I think they have a bye week. Then they play the Atlanta Falcons, which is next month. And that's where the murderous row begins. They got to play the Buffalo Bills. That's an L. They got to play the Buccaneers twice. And then they got to play the New Orleans Saints. I'm telling you, if this is not a murderous row, I don't know what is. So, what do y'all think about yesterday's game? And what do you think of next week's game in South Beach? And with that, throwing y'all salute. Have a good night. Early happy Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, those who played Call of Duty Vanguard free online multiplayer access weekend. What do y'all think? I'll give my first impressions or review or whatever in my various thoughts, volume 185. So with that, salute.